Hi and welcome back to 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. Today guys, we're going to be diving down into the charts, take a look at what has been going on most recently with Polkadot. As we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button, I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you are going to be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏. In the description down below, you'll find two very important links. The first one is to our Discord server. If you haven't already jumped on over, go ahead and check that out. It's completely free and you're going to be joined by a fantastic community that talk crypto 24/7. The second link is for our Patreon services. If you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, why not become a Patreon member? In doing so, you're going to get things like our buy, sell and staking signals along with 2 AMAs a week with me and Chris to kind of go through everything that's going on in crypto at that particular point in time, as well as some trading. Of course, there's a whole host of additional benefits, so why not check that out if it is your bag. Right, with all that said, done and out of the way, let's actually jump on down into the charts and take a look at what is going on here with Polkadot. Okay guys, so we're going to take a look at something I actually put out to the members last night, and that was this pullback that I was kind of expecting down to the 786. Okay, so this is just our hourly chart. We can see there was a nice A wave up, a B wave coming down, and we are looking for that C wave high. The stochastic RSI is a little bit of a concern for me right now, so we're going to go into a little bit of detail on that as well in a moment. But one of the things I was looking for here was to see this pullback. Now I was looking at this yesterday. We were actually up here a little bit and the stochastic RSI was overbought, and I was looking for this pullback. I was looking to see us come back down. Now I was actually probably putting this out right about here when we're about $25 or so, and we could see that there was this overbought area. We're looking for a pullback, so I quickly threw this fib on just on the right hand side here. And what we're able to do is we're able to say, okay, here's your high point, and here was your low point. When we take that into consideration, where is the most likely area that we're going to retrace to? Now, considering our position on our stochastic RSI, we were not actually, going down as low as the 786, which was a possibility, but we had already gone down lower than the 618, right? And considering our positioning here, it was a bit clear that we were likely to, potentially pull back down a little bit. Okay. So we pulled back. I think it was just above the 702. We're pushing up and we're looking to pull back down. Okay, so we called this one out for the members in Discord server. So if that's something, check that out, and you'll be able to see it there. But what we're looking at now is this stochastic RSI is still quite high. Right. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're probably going to be around this area for a little bit longer. Let me just actually tidy this up a little bit, and I'll remove some of this stuff so we can actually take a bit of a dive into that. I'll remove that for now. Now, obviously, this target for the C wave is really dependent on how low this pullback is for Polkadot here. So what we want to do is we want to really kind of dive into this and think, okay, well, what is the most probable outcome here? Well, I think there's another pullback potentially due. So if we actually take this out on a micro scale, we can see that we've pulled up into this area. This actually puts us right the way back down, right at this low point here of 2364. We actually didn't quite get as low as my expectations. We got down to 2386. So there's a possibility here of actually coming right down into that 786 zone of 2364. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is an ABC move kind of up here, and again, this I think plays into a bigger kind of move overall, but there's actually, you could argue you could draw it 5 waves if you really wanted to, and I mean you could potentially argue, let's actually take a look and see if it is 5 waves. While we're here, we might as well see if we can do this properly, right? So let's take a look, see what we've got. Let's just get that in view. So here we can see that we pushed up, right? So we want to take this potential move from the downside to the upside and just see what happens when we go ahead and actually transpose this over to a potential B wave low, which would have been right here. So yeah, it isn't really an impulsive move. So that doesn't really count. We didn't really pass the 1.382. So it's not impulsive, but you could easily draw that up as 5 waves if you wanted to make your analysis a little bit easier if you absolutely wanted to. There's no harm in doing so. We did pull back down into this lower range here, and it didn't invalidate. It was just out of that threshold. So then you kind of see that push to the upside. So very, very close to it. And in fact, I might just check it just to make sure, because it could be, an ABC that is heavily disguised here inside this. Yeah, actually, it looks like it is invalidated. Let's just get a quicker look at that. So let's pull it down into... No, it's not invalidated, actually. No, it is a very valid count. If you wanted to count it as 5 waves, you can count it as 5 waves. I know I'm just splitting hairs at this point, but it leads on to the next one, okay? So we had that move up on a micro scale, and now we can see, you know, there's a pullback here. Now, ultimately, we think that's potentially just one big wave in itself, and we are looking for downside. So we look for an ABC here, and we have quite a big move to the downside here for Polkadot on this scale. There's a big A, a big B, and then we look to pull back down into the C wave, right? And that's kind of where that's lying. So we have that 5 waves up and that ABC down. Now, ideally, we don't want this C wave to go lower than we had over here. Because we want a reversal, we want it to go up into the C wave, right? We want to keep it higher. But, you know, it is what it is. That is where the analysis is indicating. So we just want to be mindful over that. On this smaller scale, and that stochastic RSI can of course be wiped out without doing too much damage to price, but I do expect this to be the bottom area in here. I don't expect us to pull back overly too much more for Polkadot in this range, you know, depending on the rest of the market conditions. But for now, this seems to be the most probable area for us. We are right in this zone. Again, you know, looking for that C wave high on the much larger timescales. Okay, so right now, really interesting stuff. Now I'm just going to tidy this up so that we can move up into the larger time frames, right? So we know that that's kind of what's going on here on our hourly chart. Let's actually take this up into an 8-hourly view. Okay, and here we can see the bigger kind of picture, right? We can see some interesting kind of stuff going on. You know, we have this bigger A, B, C move, a really short C wave here, a big pullback into this area that we think is the most probable, and where we're kind of trading sideways at the moment. And then, of course, we're looking to continue that push to the upside. But of course, you know, it's not going to just be, you know, one big green candle. You're probably going to see some volatility in that journey to the upside, okay, in the same way that you saw here. But that's kind of the target, $30.02. And you can see here the wave count as well. And you can see the amount of red in here across these 8 hours. Now, if we actually break that into a 4-hourly move, again, you can see some pretty definitive move here up, and then a pullback down. And you can again argue that you could draw this up as 5 waves if you wanted to, but you don't generally see B waves with 5 waves. So I think it is some form of you know, ABC correction in there, but I'm not going to dive through all the different time lines to try to figure out which one it is, but there is some kind of correction now, and I do think we're coming to the bottom here. And as you can see on the 8-hourly chart here, we are heavily oversold, right? So we know that we're coming to the very close to the bottom on the chart here. The 4-hourly is actually starting to get some traction to the upside, but we are expecting a little bit of volatility. The hourly, of course, needs to have that correction still to occur. The daily is coming down nicely in line with what we're talking about here, and we are just waiting for that reversal, that push to the upside to occur. The weekly chart's actually looking at pretty much the same as our 8-hourly, heavily oversold, and we're waiting for the bigger trends to kind of really take hold. Overall, when we actually zoom on out here, what are we actually looking at? It's actually looking like some kind of corrective wave to the downside, right? And again, this is happening over several weeks, right? So we have our initial kind of pullback, probably about here. We had that push to the upside, and what we're waiting for really is now, you know, a deeper kind of correction to complete this move on our weekly time frame. Again, it could be, you know, one flash crash of some kind, or Bitcoin going down to 37k, for example, that brings Polkadot down. On the smaller timeframes, we're looking to go up first, but on the larger timeframes, we are looking for that deeper correction. Once that's come in, then naturally we are looking for a reversal at that point and good correction to the upside. So overall, this is actually looking pretty good. Now, what we'll do is we will measure, of course, this distance as we think about where, you know, the potential low points are, right? If we measure that and we throw that onto here at the moment, we can see this potentially pulling down towards that $14 range on the kind of larger time frame. Again, what we will do here is actually just quickly remove that fib, and what I will also run is this this particular wave here to see, you know, whether or not there's some kind of correlation to it, as most things you kind of correct down to a certain point. So what we are going to do is we are going to run this from the bottom of this wave to the top, and then we're going to see that this C wave pretty much just comes in line just a little bit lower than our 786. So there's a good chance that actually 1499 is a reversal point for us. So I'm going to quickly just throw that onto there, i.e. it's a slightly shorter C wave overall. But for now, yeah, I think let's focus in on what we expect to happen next on these smaller time frames, of course, but do keep it in the back of our minds that we are expecting Polkadot to have a deeper correction in line with the overall market on the much bigger time frames. Overall, I'm very, very confident in Polkadot and everything that's kind of going on with the ecosystem, hence I extended my position with them. But I do expect some volatility, and with that being said, there's going to be opportunity as well. You might want to decide you want to sell it nice and high and then buy it back and accumulate it when it drops down, or just take advantage of dollar cost averaging at those low points and those dips as they occur. Long term, we are thinking that Polkadot has a pretty bright future. When we actually go up into our kind of weekly viewpoints, there are some fibs that are indicating some pretty interesting levels. On our daily chart, I guess is probably the more conservative model. We do have some kind of extensions here that are enabled that actually show us moving up to a potential $177 Polkadot. That's about a 6x, maybe 7x on the current position, a little bit lower. Yeah, it's about maybe 6.5x. So it's not overly impossible. It's definitely something that is something that we could potentially be looking forward to in the very near future here for Polkadot in 2022 as this bull run it does continue. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there, but hopefully you have found it useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then do go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.